Okay, hey everyone, I'm Cyrille for FXSAFE protocol. And today I'm gonna try to answer how can institutions access to real DeFi yields. So first, let's take a look at that number. I'm pretty sure it's familiar to all of you, 3.86%. That's the current T-bills rate, so the so-called risk-free rate. Now let's take a little look at the DeFi rates. On that dashboard called stableleads.info, you can look at some of the most of the stablecoin yields in DeFi, and you can say that you can achieve up to 12% on significant capital. So why is there such a massive difference between the T-bills rate and DeFi yields? That's probably because of what I call the trustlessness paradigm. That's something maybe absurd so far, is that Ethereum created an abstracted trust into financial transaction by bringing absolute transparency on everything. But so far, TradFi still relies on trust. And most institutions can just not access to these DeFi strategies directly. They have a couple of challenges to face, such as custody. Obviously, when you're a bank, a family office, a fund, you cannot just have your intern running his ledger wallet and deploy capital of your clients into a DeFi strategy. And there's a lot of risks and responsibilities to assess, monitor, mitigate, such as smart contracts, collaterals, oracle risks, peg liquidity, and so on, which makes it you need someone very qualified to run this, and in most cases the best way to do it is just to externalize, just in terms of regulations. You also need, obviously, a very good reporting and transparency, which is actually enabled by the blockchain. Now, since we're talking about DeFi strategies, let's take a look at the FXSAFE strategy. FXSAFE is the main yield strategy on FXSAFE protocol. It's only powered by USDC and FXUSD. FXUSD is FXSAFE protocol decentralized stablecoin. It's only backed by Wrap Bitcoin and Wrap Stake ETH, which are Tier 1 assets, and everything is on-chain. That means it's transparent, monitorable in real time, you can automate stuff, mitigate your risk automatically, and so on. FXUSD is over-collateralized, making it very safe and resilient, and it has a perfect peg by design. You can check it on CoinGecko if you want. There's 15 audits made by OpenZeppelin, Trail of Bits, and SecBit, which are some of the best auditing firms in blockchain, with obviously also chain security, someday. So that makes FXSAFE a very low-risk strategy with very high yields. 100% of the yield is organic and sustainable and comes from FXSAFE economic activity. I heard Mark saying that institutions don't want our shitcoins, and that's exactly what FXSAFE does. It delivers organic and sustainable yield. There's no token inflation involved in FXSAFE's yield. There's no points. It's 100% organic on-chain yields. If you remember the dashboard I showed you earlier, comparing the different stable strategies in DeFi, well, FXSAFE is the first one. If you look on 90 days, FXSAFE delivered an average 12.5% APR on over 100 million TVL. And again, this is 100% organic yield. If you look at the second strategy, it's 4 points below. So you may wonder, okay, is that yield scalable? Then let's look at the growth of FXSAFE. And over the past few months, FXSAFE grew to over 100 million TVL, while its yield stayed pretty stable. There's just a couple of glitches there on the chart. You may wonder what they are. It's just API glitches of DeFi Llama. But the yield stayed around 12 to 30% APR. So what we realized is that since FXSAFE strategy serves the protocol usage, the more TVL that comes into FXSAFE, the more the protocol generates fees, and this is how the yield scales naturally. For you to understand what FXSAFE is, let me explain what FX protocol is in a nutshell. So FX protocol is a CDP protocol that has two legs. So there's the stable yield leg, and the other leg is the leverage product. So FX enables up to 7x leverage on BTC and ETH with minimal liquidation risk thanks to a very innovative, progressive liquidation mechanism and minimal funding costs. Instead of paying recurring funding costs that can be very high, like on a regular protocol, users just pay a one-time opening and closing fee, and that's it. That makes the leverage cost very predictable, and this is why we like to call this a zero-stress leverage position, so that people can take leverage and sleep at night. And just like the stable strategy, it's 100% on-chain and trustless, meaning you can monitor it and automate it. And these leverage positions are powered by FXUSD, which is our decentralized stablecoin. This is the fastest growing decentralized stablecoin in the ecosystem, and we find a very good balance between stability, scalability, and decentralization. And this is how we managed to scale the protocol to over $400 million in a couple of months, without any VC backing and organically. So now you may wonder, this is DeFi. How can I access this yield as an institution? The first way you could do it is by going through one of the many partners that trust us, many DeFi integrations of FX that could have an institutional access. But the thing is, if you go for one of these solutions, you may probably be exposed to many other DeFi strategies that can be very riskier. There's another solution that I'm very, very proud to unveil today and announce, which we call FXSAFE. FXSAFE is the institution-ready access to FXSAFE's yield. And to build this, we partnered with 9Summit, which is an EU-incorporated company that manages over $80 million TVL. FXSAFE has MPC custody from Fortify, making it institutional-grade custody solution. It's permission-compliant deposit through KYB and KYCs using the Lagoon Finance infrastructure to make sure that your funds aren't mixed with anyone's funds and that you stay compliant to regulations. And it has smart contract and PEG insurance included into the product thanks to Nexus Mutual Insurance. There's no price impact deposits or withdrawals, we guarantee that. And we give institutional grade reporting through 9Summit. So we are about to launch this in a couple of weeks. If you're interested, feel free to reach out. I'll be around in the room. I'll also be there tonight. Or you can just scan this QR code to get direct access to my Telegram account and discuss it. If you also want to learn more about FX protocol, you can scan this QR code and you'll get all the relevant links about FX, audits, white papers, DApp, and so on, everything. That's it. Thank you very much for listening, and feel free to reach out in the room. I'll be happy to chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cyrille.